Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome back to the stream. It's me, DigiDriver, welcoming you to your Sunday, June 30, 2024. Unless you are in the future, i.e., overseas, in which case, hello, and welcome to July. That'll be where I am in about 7 or so hours. So we're back at Microsoft Flight Simulator, and if you checked in yesterday, you noticed that I struggled with the 777 because I couldn't figure out what was going on with the plane. Did I break it? Was I doing something wrong? No, I didn't break it. Yes, I was doing something wrong, and I documented that on Discord, in my channel, as well as hanging out with a few friends of mine. So, basically, the issue was I had changed a setting in the what am I going to call it? I changed the setting in the startup flow, which caused that continuous, incessant beeping to just keep happening, keep happening, keep happening, and essentially that's what stopped me from flying. I mean, yes, it was stormy yesterday. It's a little bit stormy today, but that's not the issue. I did stop because there were storms coming through, but at the same time, now that I understand what was it that was causing me the trouble, I can actually get back to the cause of flying this thing and having a good time. So, friends, welcome, welcome back, welcome if you're new. I am DigiDriver. I'm a flight sim enthusiast, part-time scenery developer, and IRL software developer. And I am flying the PMDG 777 tonight for what I like to call a kind of like benchmark flight down to my favorite airport, I think in the world, because I haven't been to many, but basically this is the one that I've been to that I like, Orlando International. For good reason. So let's go ahead and load in. Let's load into Dulles. And I'm trying to remember where American flies out of, but I would probably say it's going to be somewhere on either side of this kind of like central concourse. So let's see. Assuming these smaller airplanes are like 737s and these are the heavies, I'm probably going to pick gate Bravo 44. So we'll choose that. Flight conditions, thunderstormy. Interesting. Is it lifetime? It's lifetime now. Do I want all players or just live traffic? I don't know. I think I'll turn multiplayer traffic off for now, just to get the live traffic in, because it's still a pretty time of the day to actually get lots of simulated traffic. And as long as we fly procedures according to the weather in the sim and the live traffic confirms with that, we should be fine. I think that's everything. It should be. I'll just double check the livery and customization. Yeah. There we are, folks. Let's get loaded in. So I've already followed the flight plan through SimBrief. I think it's probably going to be about an hour and 45 minutes for the flight, not counting the 20 to 30 minutes of block time on the ground. So yeah, I think it's going to be probably about like a 2-hour stream or so. And here we are. All right, let me check my... Hello? Interesting. I can't choose my windows. I'll probably use my joystick for that. Oh, interesting. I can pan, but I can't change views. Did I do something wrong? Probably, but stand by, chat. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be different than how I used to fly in FSX, but I would very much like to be able to switch views, please. That's weird. Hang on. We'll take a look at this quickly. Reset position and quick views. Smart cam targets. That's interesting. Okay, I mean, I can switch through here if I absolutely have to. Probably one more reason why this will not be on VATSIM. But that's a little odd. I'm extremely curious why my keyboard isn't working with me. Okay. There we go. I don't know exactly what was going on, but I guess I had to click in the window. It's full screen right now, so I don't see why this is a concern. But let me switch back over to pilot. Although flying at right seat could be very interesting. Oh, man. Okay, so let's get this thing started. And I'm going to start from cold and dark because it looks like we have the plane plugged in right now and like almost ready to go. So we'll take cold and dark GPU. And now I'm going to go upstairs and plug in the external power, plug in the battery, and turn on the ADIRU and get the IRS aligning. That should be everything I need to do right now. And other than, of course, turning on the logo light, because this is a DIGI driver flight, of course, I have to have my logo light. I don't care if it's daytime, I will do it. All right, ground operations. We have chocks set at the moment. Let's request an air conditioning unit, and we have ground power plugged in already. We'll request the jetway. The jetway's coming over. Let's see where it's going to plug in. In the meantime, let's get our vehicles coming over. Is there any reason I need cabin cleaning? Probably not. I could also just do ground ops, but I think the shortest ground op is like 55 minutes, so we'll see. Airwalker GT, hello, welcome aboard. Happy to have you. We're doing a 777 flight out of Dulles to Orlando today, and I'm getting myself set to go. So we're getting cargo plugged in. We're going to get the fuel truck over here to give us some extra fuel because I'm sure we don't have it. We'll get the galley. And where do we plug in? We plugged in one left, but for whatever reason, the jetway looked too short. We'll just ignore that. And we'll get galley as well. Forward cargo. One more time. There we go. Forward cargo. And that's it. So ground services checked. Door management, we will do entry 2 left and open. And now we have cargo holds opening, and that should be everything we need to do for now. Let me also go to my EFB. Request made from SimBrief. Now we have the flight ready to go. American 107 Heavy going to MCO from IAD with an alternate being Daytona if for some reason we have to divert. We are in the 773 and now we have our info. So I'm going to check and see what the briefing says. In terms of fuel, we need 41,200 pounds. Oof, man, active hurricane. About 3 years ago, I would have said it's probably not going to simulate winds. But with changes that MSFS has made over the years, there might be a chance it will simulate those winds, at least in part. So I would not expect to fly through a hurricane without it getting spicy with the new updates. I'm assuming it will. So again, let me think. 41,200 pounds fuel is enough for today's flight. If I take a look at the planned fuel, we have block fuel 41,243 pounds. 39,843 pounds are takeoff fuel. That's minimum takeoff fuel. And we have 15 minutes of contingency fuel, 24,000 pounds of trip fuel, and let's see, 5,028 pounds to get us back to Daytona, and some final reserves of 6,472 pounds. So is there a reason why I want to take extra fuel with me? Of course, I'm DigiDriver. I tanker fuel all the time. But let's do this reasonably. I think probably an extra 10,000 pounds should be more than enough. So we'll request 51,200 pounds in ground operations. If I can do it here. Oh, you know where I can do it? I can do it in the FMC. So we will get FS actions going here. We will request 51,200 pounds. And that's going to be that. Let's take a look at our payload, how many passengers we're taking. The flight plan for today, 3 hours before feeling it in Grenada. May the Lord bless you. So let's do this. Let me go back to my charts. There we go. I want to see the briefing preview. What was I looking for? I was looking for passenger count, of course. Passenger count for today's flight, 284 passengers. So, 54. So 284 means we're going to be taking 230 in economy. Okay, so yeah, 54 plus 230, that's 284, done. And, oh, you want to know what? This is probably going to be set for me, so I'm not going to worry about those numbers too much because the flight plan and loadouts are going to be taken care of for me anyway. All right, cabin lights are usually auto anyway, and while we're working on this, let's go ahead and set up our transponder code. My favorite code, 2257. Let's go and leave the transponder, set the transponder mode. We'll get it to TARA when we get ready to go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard American Airlines Flight 197. As you board, feel free to make use of your rows to get settled and to put your carry-on items in overhead bins as needed. We'll be departing shortly, just getting some paperwork taken care of on our end, but make sure you sit back and relax. We'll take care of you all the way down to Orlando. Thank you for choosing American Airlines. Okay, so here we go. And I don't think I need to do anything with nav data here. I think it's all in the FMC. So let's get the panel lighting up, especially since it's a daytime flight. And upstairs we'll do the same thing. Where is it? Overhead. That's fine. Get the in-flight entertainment and cabin utility power on. Right now we're on external power. The APU is not running. APU gen's ready to accept it when we are. We'll get the emergency lights armed. We'll get window heats turned on. And above it, I don't see anything that needs to be checked. We can test this. What is that up there? That is cockpit voice recorder test. Okay, no complaints. Kaboom. Let's go ahead and leave this alone. This is what was causing the incessant beeping last time. I armed cargo fire thinking that was required, and then took the equipment cooling out of auto, which got that really, really loud, annoying beeping started and never stopped. Until, of course, I disabled cargo fire arm and put this back to auto, then it went away. Not running any fuel because we don't need the APU right now. We're plugged into external power. We have nav and logo lights on. Equipment cooling is auto, and we have recirc fans and packs on. Trim air is on. Bleeds are auto, and APU is auto. And now I think the rest of it is the FMC stuff, which we'll work on at the moment. Up here, there we go, got it. So back to the menu, let's go to the FMC and get ourselves set. Enter inertial position. Let's go to pause it. We'll pick GPS, and we will fly out of Dulles. And pop it in again. I wish it would stay down there like it used to with the 737. But I don't know how this thing works in real life, so clearly it's a learning experience for me. But so far so good, no crazy beeping, I'm happy. And again, we are American 197 Heavy. There we go. To depart Dulles, we are taking off on runway 30, which is interesting. Cool. 30 is the runway. And let's get the route requested. We'll take it from SimBrief. And we're going to set payload. I'm not going to worry about fuel. We already set fuel. Although, if I set fuel, I can probably just use the same numbers that we had before. And since I have probably at least, what, almost 10,000 pounds of reserve, I'll be fine. I think I'm going to play it by the books, and we'll do what we have. Okay. We will activate the route, execute that, and we're requesting the route right now. Request is sent. Let's go back to the flight bag, and I think I just need to go over a few settings here. Performance tool, I can set this, but I think it's going to happen in just a little bit. Oh. Okay, descent forecast uplink ready. Wind data uplink ready. Performance init uplink. Route 1 uplink ready. Let's go ahead and load. Route 1 uplink loading. We will double check the flight plan to make sure everything's good. And of course, as always, chat, if you need me to raise or lower volume of my microphone, the sounds, just let me know so I can take care of it and make it a great experience for you. All right, so I can probably plug in the runway again. It's 30, and we're going to do performance init. And 0 fuel weight for this bird, given everything that we've taken by default, should be 434.7. 434.7. Okay, reserves 11,500 pounds, which sounds about right. And what did I need to do? Not much. Okay, let me close this window down. That's done. And we're going to take the performance init data. We're cruising at flight level 380 today with a cost index of 20. And what did we say for selected thrust? Where's that usually? In the dispatch? Let me see. We'll pick 30. Come on. 30, conditions dry, and aircraft. We will import from aircraft. AC cooling auto, import weather, and we'll calculate. Select temp is going to be 48. 48, which means takeoff thrust is going to be 97.4%. If we do takeoff D rate, thank you, Airwalker, then takeoff thrust is going to be 98.7%. We'll take that. And then takeoff speeds, we'll do a flap 5 takeoff. And we have our numbers right here. CG will be 4 flat. So let's go ahead and adjust the pitch. Okay, it's already set to 4. Fantastic. All right. And we'll take our speeds, 137, 144, and 156 for V2. So 156 will go up top. .156 will go up top. That's it. Let's get the flight directors on. I think we're almost done, but I'm going to check the departure out of Dulles. And the departure is going to be the JW4. It's an RNAV departure, and we're going to be hooking up at Hafner at or above 3,000 feet. That's the initial climb. Considering this bird climbs like crazy, and I'm not on frequency, and there are no altitude restrictions on the departure, I'm probably just going to go ahead and plug in 380 for my final and leave it alone. That should be fine. There we go, 380 is set, and departure heading for 30 is going to be 301 degrees. We'll leave bank angle on auto. And that's it. So we've got flight directors on, we've got auto throttle armed, and I just need to double check the flight plan. So we've got takeoff set. Let's double check. What do we have? We have arson, slow. I think arson is going to be after the departure. Yep, that's it. We have to pick the departure. So let's pick runway 30. It's chosen. And I believe it was JW4. JW4 and JW4 to arson. And that's it. And the arrival into Orlando is going to be the get out one. Get out one from Leopard, and we'll take ILS 18 right at, I think, just final approach. So that should be everything I need to do. If we check our flight, we can probably do a quick check of the actual flight path. So I'm going to switch over to plan mode, and that way we can just double check our waypoints. Hold on a moment, chat. I'm not sure why this isn't taking my latest route changes. It should have. Yeah, we chose JW4, arson. And that's crazy. I wonder why it's not taking my changes. Did I do something wrong? Let me take a look at the departure. The departure definitely has waypoints. So I wonder why they're not taking it. Is it because I need to choose this? That's fine. We'll double check the takeoff speeds. Okay, so now runway 30 is selected. Good. Okay, for some strange reason, it doesn't show me the JW4 anymore. So let's pick a different departure. Let's see if the Jacoby actually works. Jacoby goes more out to the sea. We could probably take JW4 or the Scram 6. But yeah, JW4 should be there. I'm not sure why it isn't. Scram 6 is there. Jacoby 4 is there, but I'm not going to want to, I don't want to use it. So that means I'm going to pick the Scram 6. Scram 6 is fine, don't care. And we will take the glance transition. And now we have those waypoints in there. That's a lot better. The initial climb is going to be the 720 feet. Then we can do vectors, which is usually what happens if I'm on an air traffic control network like VATSIM. We will skip that for now, and we will actually override that because I'm lazy. I could just achieve the same effect if I actually continued on a climb based on runway heading and then vectored myself and chose a waypoint directly. But this is like my second flight in this thing. So if I go to glance, then I'll connect to the rest of the flight plan. Save that. And Leopard takes me to Hammy on the get out 1. Actually, excuse me, that's not right. I need to pick my arrival. So, get out 1, Leopard, and then we choose ILS 18 right, and we don't choose a fix, we just go straight to final. So now we should be okay. Let's see. Leopard, Newman, for you, Nick, get out, Tuggle, Banya. Yep. And then we do vectors, or would do vectors to Hammy or to the approach. But we're going to skip that because we're not on frequency. Hammy, tough. And then if we go missed, we climb to 500. And then I think eventually we go to 4,000 for Camby and we hold. So let's double check the scan. Stepping through the flight plan, Pooch, Scram, Dando, and then Wallace and Glance, Arson, Golf Sierra Oscar, Slow Joe, FA, Juicy, Werfel, Coney, Talon, Royco, Gipple, BG, Leopard. This is looking good so far. And then we enter the arrival. Newman, for you, Nick, Big B, get out, Tuggle, Banya, and then Hammy. So we're literally going to be making like a short left turn to final, landing, and then kaboom, we're good. If we go missed, we go to the intercept to Camby. And that takes care of that. So out of map mode, out of plan mode, back to map. And now I think we should be able to hit LNAV and VNAV. Hit the B button because I'm lazy. That calibrates me to local pressure. And what are the minimums for 18 right? Let me take a quick peek. Hang on just a moment. I forgot to close this because I didn't pick Scram 6. We will pick Glance. Add it to the route. We have that added. That's fine. And minimums. Minimums here are going to be 294 feet. So we're going to pick that Barrow. Scrolling's a little slower than I'm accustomed to, but I'll probably get used to it. It does seem like I have to catch up to it. So sorry about that. We have some weather coming through my area today. I don't expect it to be strong stuff, but there is a slight non-zero chance that I might lose power. Hopefully that won't be the case, but if I do, you'll see it. Okay, TCAS is off right now, but I'll get weather plugged in, and we'll see if we get any weather on screen. And also we'll get data for the flight. And now I think that's everything that I need to do up front. Is there anything else that I'm missing? Probably not. Let me go back. Actually, let me go up and start getting everything figured out. Let's get the beacon light on and get a little bit of fuel flowing to the APU because that's the next thing we're going to do. APU start is going on. And what do I need to do? Probably get my electric and air taken care of. There's probably an official flow for this that I'm not following, but that's okay. We will get the plane configured for departure very shortly. Actually, I could probably just put all the fuel pumps on now. And I don't think I have any fuel in center. Nope, doesn't look like it. And APU will probably come on momentarily. Okay, now I should be able to start dismissing the other things. is. All right, let's go back to ground ops. And ground services. Let's go ahead and start dismissing everything. So, forward cargo can go. Aft galley can go. Forward galley can go. Fuel truck can go. We got our stuff. Bulk cargo can go, and aft cargo can go. Let's go to door management. Let's go ahead and close them all. And let's arm them all. Okay, cargo doors are closing. They're closed. All right. Flight attendants, doors to auto. Stand by for all call. All right, so what else do I have to do? We've dismissed ground vehicles. We should be running on the APU now, but the next thing we're going to do is get rid of the jetway. Release that. And let's see. Okay, APU gen is running. APU is running. We'll turn external power off. And we will dismiss the ground power. Same thing for the air conditioning unit. Okay, done deal. Let's get the parking brake set. So, where are we? Over here? There we are. There we go. Parking brake is set. And that should be everything. APU is running. Parking brake is set. We'll get the TCAS configured before we get out of here, but let me just double check my makeshift flows here from left to right, up and down. The IRS should be aligned at this point. We've been running it long enough. We have battery and APU gen running. We do not have ground power connected. We'll get everything connected and running up shortly on the gens once we're good to go. Hydraulics and electrics are on, and seatbelts and electronics are in auto. We have beacon, nav, and logo lights on. The engine is normal. Auto start is on. Equipment cooling is auto. Fuel pumps are running. Anti-ice is auto. And we have the packs that will take care of themselves when we start the plane. And that's it. Okay, let's go ahead and request pushback. Take a quick peek around me. I don't think it's going to be an issue. When we will push back this way. The only problem is with this plane, for some strange reason, toolbar pushback just gets really, really funky. So I might try to see if I can use the pushback feature in the PMGG menu. We'll see what happens. Jacks are removed at this point, and that should be it. Okay, back to home. We should be okay. All right. So let's go back to the menu system and let's see if we can actually get this working the way that I expect it to. Standby chat. All right, back to the menu. Let's see if we can request pushback. I can't request pushback, and I wonder why. I'm either doing something wrong or pushback's disabled. I don't know. So it's okay. We could probably push back the old-fashioned way, or we can take our chances with the toolbar pushback and just have it meme us around the taxiway for a little bit until we actually get going. But let's see, service vehicles. Jocks are removed. Yeah, we should be fine. I don't know why it's not letting me choose that. Is it because this airplane's not configured? I don't know. What I will do is check the checklist so that we actually have what we need. So, oh, I could probably check oxygen. Why not? Okay. I think also the stat will let me see that. Oxygen is 1850. We have the APU running. That's it. We're good. Okay, so flight instruments, oxygen's good. Flight instruments, we set. Flight deck door, we just closed everything. We've got MCP set. Also, what I need to do is double check my inlet ref for departure. We've reset, but it's still 156 for V2, still 144 for rotate, still 137 for V1. We're fine. Takeoff go around weight for today is going to be what? Let's see. Takeoff go around weight is going to be, I'm sorry, takeoff gross weight is going to be 474.5. Let's book that in. Okay. Still the same. Good. That should be fine. Takeoff speed set. CDU pre-flight completed. Trim is set. And takeoff and taxi briefing, we're going to do that right now. For the taxi, we're going to be departing Dulles via taxiway Charlie, left turn on Zulu, all the way down to Yankee 11 for departure of runway 30 out of here. So that's the taxi and takeoff briefing. We're going to take off and follow the Scram 6 departure. Okay, that should be everything. Let's go ahead and set the engine view, request pushback, and hopefully work. It's either going to work or it's going to be really, really, really silly. No nose wheel lift simulated. And do I care about interactive audio today? Nah, I'm good. We'll just let the thing do its thing. And I could probably do manual pushback if I wanted to, so I will. Okay, since we are getting ready to push back, I'll go ahead and set myself back up for TARA, and that should make that go away. That's good. And we should be fine at this point. Let's go ahead and release the parking brake. And now we're going to go ahead and start doing the reverse. All right, beautiful. Slow the tug speed down so we can actually get this thing started up gently, and we will get the clock going. So, let's go upstairs. Right engine. Okay, let's get some fuel in there. Maybe a gentle right turn with the pushback at this point. And are we ready to start the left engine? We'll see. Well, there we go. I heard her click. Now we're ready. Left engine. Not bad. Spun up in like 40 minutes. I'm okay with that. There we go. Fuel's coming on. Got nice model matching today. Cool beans. Doing pretty good. I'm happy with that. Okay, and looks like we've got the engines in a good spot. and gens are on, which means I can turn my APU off. Pretty much almost where I want the aircraft, so APU's on cooldown, and what am I missing? Oh, right, flaps. Flaps to 1 and flaps to 5. Trim's already set, and I think that's everything. Am I missing anything? We've got the barrow for landing. We've got the altimeter currently set. Units are currently American. We've got our radar. And what else am I missing? Let's see. Initial departure heading. We've got V2 speed set. Final climb. I can't think of anything else. Let's go ahead and complete the pushback now. We'll start the pushback. Get the parking brake set, and that would be that. I think they are disconnecting us now. That's it, they're done. All right, let's go ahead and get our nose and taxi light on. Thank you very much, my friends. We will see Dulles later. So, now I'll get my wing lights on for safety, and we'll double check ourselves up top. So, ADRU is going. We have gens running, no caution or fault lights here. Passenger oxygen is off. Voice recorder is, let's see, is that auto? Yeah, auto. And now we have hydraulics going. Lights are configured for a taxi, and now we're going to do a quick check, just running through the list here. We're looking good. Backs are back to auto. Trim air is on. Bleed air is in a good position. Let's go ahead and check our flight controls really fast. So I'll take a look down here real quick and peek as we go. We'll go full left. We'll go full right. Full forward. And full back. And then we'll check our rudder controls. Full left deflection and full right deflection. Flight control mode normal, and that should be everything. Flight controls check free and clear. All right, we'll go back to engines, and that should be everything. Probably even check my gears as well. Pressure's good. Fuel, we have 40,900 pounds of fuel ready to go, and we should be well within limits for our flight, running on the generators, and that's it. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit the virtual road, as it were. So, right, straight ahead on Charlie, left on Zulu, left on Yankee 11 to depart on 30. All right, let's go ahead and release the parking brake. And off we go. Cabin is now ready. There we go. A little bit of a dance with the parking brake and getting moving sometimes, so I need to watch out for that. Otherwise, I am extremely happy with this aircraft. Also, really happy to see that in the course of taxiing into and taxiing out of the airport, other airline traffic is getting, like, like food service, like taxi, like jetways connected. I'm happy about that. All right, so we're departing Dulles. We're going to make a left turn right here. This is Zulu, and then we're going to go right down almost to the end of Zulu. When Yankee 11 pops up, we're going to make a left turn there. Let me keep the speed down a bit. This aircraft is extremely easy to get going on idle thrust. I haven't even used it after spinning it up just now. 10 knots, I think, is the max you can make turns at in this aircraft, at least reliably. And my taxi skills are clearly not up to snuff. It's going to take a lot more practice, if you will. Let's see. I kind of like this view right now. I'm happy with that. Whoa, and what's this? I can actually use my flight controls while I'm in showcase mode? Is it? Yeah, look at that. Only thing is, for some reason, I can't switch back to pilot mode easily, like I used to. There we go. That's fine. And now we can switch between the pilot and the showcase modes nicely. Alright, so about 8 minutes after we pushed back from the blocks, so to speak, we are on our way to runway 30 for our flight to Orlando today, and we're flying the BMDG 777 with the American Airlines livery, registration November 717 Alpha November. And now that I don't have an airplane, complaining about something that I didn't actually see before, I'm happy with it. You need help? So far, so good. I'm happy. Okay, so I don't think the winds changed, but let me go ahead and double check the weather in SimBrief. Out of Dulles right now, weather is winds 270 at 8, so we're definitely picking 30 for our departure today. I'm okay with that. Okay, speaking of which, here comes Yankee 11, which is what I believe I'm going to be turning to for my departure. I can always make it an intersection departure if I want to, but that should be fine otherwise. Okay, quick review of the checklist. Let's see. Anti-ice is done. Recall is checked. Flight controls tested. Ground equipment is clear. That was the before taxi checklist. And before takeoff, flaps is set to 5. So, before takeoff checklist complete. All right, here we go. Landing lights on, strobe light on, and taxi light off. That's it, chat. Here we go. Flying to Scram 6, we will let the plane do the business of flying once we clear 1,000 feet. This is a big plane, so we want to make sure we give it lots of room and a gentle takeoff angle, so that we do not do a tail strike. All right, and pretty much just, clear ourselves for departure. That's it. All right, here we go. 98.1% is our takeoff rate today. Do a quick spool up. Engines are stable. Let's go Toga. Well, not Toga, but our prescribed speed. And RTO, since I forgot that. We're past 100 knots already.
B1.
B1, rotate. Gentle rotation. And ups the daisy. Gentle. Beautiful. Positive rate. Gear up. Flaps to 1. Flaps up. (1,000 feet). Autopilot's on. Nose light off. Flaps are up. Auto brake is automatically off of RTO. Bye-bye Washington, D.C. And we are off on our flight to Orlando today. Wow. That engine sounds dope under load. Okay, so a little bit of a delay on my stream, but otherwise we're okay. Let's see. Traffic, not that much traffic around me, just off my 10 o'clock. Okay, looks like a flight to Portugal. Just took off out of Dallas. Right now we are at 91% N1 and we are climbing at about 4,000 feet per minute, excuse me. Okay. After takeoff checklist, landing gear up, flaps up. After takeoff checklist complete. And that is that. We'll put the checklist away for now and leave the engines monitored. And that's it, everybody. Welcome aboard. We are well on our way to Orlando for a quick shakedown flight on stream. I did my first flight off stream yesterday. Welcome in, everybody. Hopefully you're having a good afternoon. I am. I woke up after sleeping in this morning and took care of some stuff. Did a little bit of programming. I might do a little bit more programming once we get to cruise, but I'm debating that. There are some things I want to go over or just think about. We're past 10,000 feet, so the landing lights can come off. And ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. We have just departed Dulles International Airport. It's looking like probably about an hour 45 to an hour 55 minutes down to Orlando today. We are climbing through the cloud layer and we should be cruising at a lofty 38,000 feet. In a few moments, you should be able to begin using your large electronic devices, and the cabin crew will be about the cabin taking care of your needs. If there's anything we can do for you, just let us know. Otherwise, sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight. Thanks for flying American. All right, so 95% N1 at this point. We are busting it. I think wing lights can come off at this point. Or do we even need them on? I don't know. Take a quick peek upstairs just to make sure everything is on it needs to be on. I think so. Hydraulics, passenger signs. Yeah, looking good. NES auto all the way through. Recirc fans, equipment cooling, packs, trim. Yeah, pressurization's auto, so we should be fine. Still climbing at about 4,000 feet per minute. It is a nice flight. A little bit of wing flex, a little bit of wobble in the engines as we climb up to flight level 380. Sheesh, we're almost at standard pressure. There we go. We can go standard now. And literally, that's about it. Okay, so a little bit of weather on the way down, but doesn't seem like we're going to be dealing with much of it at the moment. And that's fine. There's Republic 4420, and this is us making the right turn to Pooch. Actually, we're passing Pooch right now. We're going to go to Scram. Can I actually see the plane? I don't know. I'm assuming I won't be able to, but we seem close enough to it. The one of my TCAS is different. That plane's a little too high for me to actually, I guess, see any detail. But that's okay. All right. Up and away, chat. So, welcome aboard. Happy to have you guys with me as I continue down to Orlando today. And I just finished making a backup of my recent files. I am happy to say, barring any incredibly last-minute checks or balances, I believe my work for the Sim Venture Oshkosh scenery at this point is complete. It was a privilege working with the Pilot Edge crew for the scenery, and we are, again, cruising on down to Orlando. Actually, you want to know what? I'm probably going to leave it on this view for now, and I'm going to open up a web browser. There are some things I want to check. I think, well, actually, no, I don't think. I know I'm running into a situation later this year. I have a problem. The current rig I'm running does not want to upgrade to Windows 11. And I mean, it is what it is. Like, that's fine. But especially if I'm going to be continuing to do scenery development, I'm going to need something that's going to help me, that's going to allow me to do what I need to do to create the necessary, files, tools, etc. to use to create scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator as well as for X-Plane. So I think I'm going to look at purchasing probably a mini PC potentially very soon with the monies procured from the work that I did, a little side hustle. So let me think. Where did I have the utilities? Was it here or was it the other? It's probably the other browser. I'm checking something, chat. I'm sorry. Okay, so here we go. Was it? Let me go straight here. I'll go ahead and open this in the other browsers. You guys can see it. Here we go. All right, superb. So you should be able to see what I'm looking at right now. And I'm going to, I think, take a look at my next rig. I'm probably... Ah, man, that sucks. Anniversary ends today? Bummer. Just shopping for the mini PC that I was talking about earlier. It's more than it's definitely more than we have right now. But I'm checking right now, sweetie. I'm shopping for something which is probably going to continue to be a AMD based rig, but I also don't necessarily want to make a choice right this instant. It's probably going to happen either today or this week. Now, whatever I get is going to have to be at least 64 gigs of RAM. So I'm probably thinking about something in the 400 to roughly $700 price range. It's probably going to be more towards 400 because I don't have that much money to throw around at all. But let me think. Based on the deals they have right now, the HX99 is what I want, but let's be realistic here. So let me just do this. All products, AMD series, and if I just focus on AMD, well, it's already, oh, okay, I see. Wait, there shouldn't be a difference there, should there? On sale. Wow, this is quite the price cut. Down to $300 from almost $700. This ain't bad. But it only takes a maximum of 32 gigs of RAM, so I can't think about that one. The Neptune HX99 is about 600, but it takes 64 gigs. Now, let's see if we can find an alternate to that one, which is around that kind of like price point, but punchy. So what am I looking at? This is why I wish they would let me filter on something other than just the categories they have. So let me just take a look. Okay, this one's sold out. So that's fine. I don't have to look at it. The Venus UM790 Pro is $429. And the page is loading slowly. I'll close this and minimize the screen. Did I close the other? Oops, I think I closed my charts window. Stand by, chat. There we go. Good. All right, I'll leave that minimized. Okay, this takes 64 gigs of RAM. Oh, really? Why does it cost that much? I thought it was like 300 bucks. Limited time discount. Dude, no. I want to pay less than that. But let's take a look at the specs right now. I have the 64 gigs RAM, terabyte SSD, and what's the difference? And why is it only a $10 difference? Let's see. What do we have? This is the Pro, and cold wave cooling, Ryzen 9 7940. And what do we have? Traditional BIOS. Talk to me about graphics. Boosted productivity. Let's probably go back up to the top. What do we have even? It's a 790. Okay, let's take a look at the 790 specs. Okay, so graphics is AMD Radeon 780. What's 780? Is it 780 or 780M? 780M. All right, so Radeon 780M. Come on. Okay, now, does this show me when this was released? Okay, so January 4th last year. So it's not old. And it's around the GTX 1650 level? So by comparison, the current NVIDIA that I have is a 3060. Let me see if it has it. 3060 Ti and the 780. Okay, so the 3060 Ti basically stomps on this thing. So a 780, not for me. And I don't think there's a choice on whether or not I can swap it out. So the UM790 is out. Let me see what the EM680 and 780 bring to the table. Let's go with the 780 first. And the 680 takes a 680M AMD. Where is it? Where's the Radeon 680M? Can I see it? Okay, not shown here because it's probably not set for that. Radeon 680M. Same thing for specs, please. Let's go. Okay, so again, not as punchy as the card that I have right now. Is that necessarily going to be a problem? Not for scenery design. For flying, probably. But I need to think realistically about what I'm trying to achieve. If I'm going to buy a computer for the sake of doing development and creative, then I don't necessarily think it's going to matter how fast my video card is. Is it going to mean I'm going to use slightly lower graphic settings? Possibly. But let me step up to the Neptune? Let me see what the Neptune brings to the table. I can still get the Neptune for $599 right now. $859 for the 64 gigs of RAM with 1 terabyte SSD, which is what I want to do. The GPU in this thing is a 6650M. Radeon RX 6650M. Okay, where are we? Here we go. Let's see. Okay, now, this is where it gets interesting. It is comparable to the 3060 Ti. It's not as punchy, but it's nowhere near what the 680 and the 780 were. So by comparison, let's put that right up against the 3060 Ti. There it is. Yeah, so the performance gap in those two is steep compared to what it was with the HX. Now, what about the barebone model? What does it come with? How much memory? It comes with, ooh, it comes with 8 gigs. I would need 64. So the problem with this price point, it's way too expensive. So no worries. I'm probably going to be looking through this. The Neptune represented what I really want, like the next like step. But again, buyer's remorse can happen really quickly when you get to a place where you just like pick up something really fast because you think it's what you want, and it's not the case. We have reached cruising altitude, so I'm going to turn the seatbelt sign off and take a quick peek around, see what's up. Let's see, I minimize the screen. Let's see how it shows up on stream. Okay, good, good. Just checking. Got a bit of a cell in front of us, but we're going to be making a right turn. So we're going to be apparently going around that system, which is good. I'm happy about that. And we're cruise right now. I'm going to think about approach ref in a little bit, but we're probably going to take 137 knots for flaps 30 for our approach. We could probably land flaps 25, but I think I'm going to do flaps 30 for our arrival. And there we go. And progress right now. We'll be on the ground at MCO 2344 Zulu. Right now, time is what? It is 22:25 Zulu. So it's an hour and like 20 minutes from now. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, so I'm okay with that. You okay? Okay. Oh man. If you've ever opened a bag of like potato chips, but the bag rips open the wrong way, it can get precarious. So, okay, so far so good. We're going direct to Golf Sierra Oscar, which is what? It is Greensboro. And that's good. That's fine. We're like about maybe 30% of the way done with the flight already. Kind of fast. We're cruising. The engines are kind of quiet right now. I'm happy. All right, let's get back to have some fun shopping. So the EM 680 and 780 are definitely within my price range, but they're not going to give me the most punch in terms of graphics. Now, what about you? GPU is a 680M. So this one's not gonna wake. Seems like the process here is this one's like the most that I can do, but let me see what else I can find. $790 is 780M, 760M. So I know what the performance level for this one is already. And what did this one have again? Let me see. So 32 gigs of RAM, Ryzen 7 specification, 680M. Okay, so lower clock speed. It looks like the ones that are priced higher have the clock speed higher or overclocked. I don't know what this is, but it looks cool. Just looks like a open case deal, which isn't necessarily a problem. Mini ITX form factor. Ooh. Okay, hold on. How much is it? $519. Give me the specs. This has a 610M, so this is not going to work. Okay. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm not expecting anything crazy at this point. Now, Let's look at the Intel series and see what we have. What if I went Intel, and what if I chose not that one? Well, yeah, let me start at the top and work my way down. So, 849 gets me what? An Intel Arc graphics. I have no clue what the performance on this is like. I'm not sure. So let's see. Test system setup. I mean, this is an Intel rig. So Intel Arc is in blue. And it's not promising, but we'll do what we can. Okay, so what does that teach me? It teaches me that the way I want to go is definitely AMD, and I'm probably going to be going with, oh, let's see, do we have refurbished models? 229. No, it's an Intel anyway, so that's okay. We'll keep our finger here, bookmarking it, so to speak, and let's go ahead and see if we can find mini PCs for sale. I'm curious. So let me do this. Let me go ahead and look up on Amazon.com for fun. Let's do mini PC. So let's have some fun. 64 gigs of RAM. Windows 11 Pro. AMD Ryzen 7. Hard drive size, 1 terabyte is fine. And oh wow, these are chunky in terms of price. For fun, let's pick this one real fast and see what graphics card it comes with. Okay, so the 780M, and based on our prior homework, we know the 780M is a little bit less than half as potent as the 3060 Ti that we have. So, right off the bat, it seems to me like the recipe is avoid mini PCs unless I can get a pretty good deal on one. But you know what? I'm not ready to give up just yet. Let me see. Let's just keep speccing stuff out. I don't care about RGB lighting. Give me a dedicated graphics card. And now, show me what you got. Let's see what we have. Does this come with the dedicated graphics card? It says Radeon Graphics, but I'm not sure. Let me see what's in the specs. Dedicated card, Radeon Graphics. Doesn't say specific Radeon Graphics. Let's see. I'm looking at Ryzen 5 5560. Does it say? Doesn't seem to, no. So I'm not going to worry about this one. I was looking to see whether or not this was actually useful. But all of these should have a dedicated graphics card. I'm not looking at those. All right, let's have some fun with this one. Okay, Zen 4 architecture, Ryzen 7, up to 5.1 gigahertz, 780. Okay, so I guess the 780 is a dedicated card. Radeon 780. Let me see pictures of this thing. Guess so, yeah. The 780 reminds me of the old Navi chipset Radeons, like that era. And I think at the high end of that was like the 5700 XT. So I don't know if that's actually going to do anything for me in terms of power or my ability to get stuff done. So let me do this. Last resort, let's go to PC Part Picker. All right, so products, cases, builder, CPU. Give me AMD. Let's isolate, I could probably pick Ryzen 9. And the one I have right now is 5900X, so I probably want to be, oh wow, I'm paying strong right off the bat. Funny thing is, the price of the 7900 is comparably almost the same as a 5950. So let's go with that first. CPU cooler is probably going to be an air cooler. So we'll go with Cooler Master. Let's see. Yeah, like I'm just kind of pricing something out real fast. We'll go with the Hyper 212 Black. Motherboard needs to be, I think, an Asus. And Strix, I forget which one I have right now. So we'll go with the 650 plus. Memory, I need to have 64 gigs. I'm happy with G-Skill. And we will take 64 gigs. And anything that's 64 gigs is in the $200 price range, so I'm not going to worry about particulars. Storage, we will take a NVMe drive. 1 terabyte's fine for the basic operating system. I'll probably transfer. Can I transfer a hard drive over to it? Probably. And video card. Video card would probably need to be a 3070 Ti or higher. So let's see what we can do. Bring my price down to $700 max, and let's see what we can find. So if I isolate do I want an NVIDIA or do I want a Radeon? So if I take a 3080 Ti, how much am I gonna how much am I gonna pay? Nothing, because there aren't any. Okay, so let's isolate based on what's available. 3070, 3090. Let's take the 4060 and see what we're paying. Mm, there we go. Compatible products. 60 compatible products. All right. So what's the price between... Oh, what? There's almost nothing else that's a prior generation card, and that's more expensive? How's that possible? Whatever. 3070 Ti. I don't think we're in a good spot. All right, so we're about halfway through the flight already. That's cool. But I'm still looking. Let's just say we pick a 4060 Ti. I'm probably going to choose one with 16 gigs of memory. So let's just say we go with the gigabyte one. There we go. Case, back off a case, back off a power supply. Actually, I don't know what the power supply situation is going to be. I don't know. So if I transferred everything over right now, I'd be at 130151. Okay. So it's cool. It doesn't have to happen today or this week. Conceivably, I could buy one of the ones on sale or buy when it comes off a sale, and it'd probably still be relatively inexpensive. The problem would be the compromise that I've been making in terms of um, the GPU. So even if I was able to get a steep discount on the memory, the GPU will probably be bottlenecking me even more than the 3060 Ti is right now. So is what it is. That's okay. I'll keep thinking about it for now. All right, let's see. Chat, let me get up and stretch my legs for a moment. I will step away temporarily and I will come back. We'll continue chatting as we fly down to Orlando. But frankly, right now, I'm pleased with this plane. Now that I understand how to avoid certain beep beeps, I'm good. So I'll leave you guys with this view for now, and I will step away momentarily. Back shortly. Hello, chat. I am back. Thanks for waiting for me. I am continuing on my flight from Dulles to Orlando today in the PMDG 777. We have been flying now for, let's see, how long? About the past like 45 minutes or so. So we're almost about an hour and a half. I'm sorry, about halfway into the flight. And it looks like we are looking at some popcorny skies below. I could probably increase the cloud quality a little bit to get some definition on those clouds, but I'm at 2K graphics right now. And honestly, sometimes I think about the situation and I'm like, the clouds don't always look the best, but if I can gain frame rate from not having the clouds be so well defined, I'm okay. The 777 is a 777-300 available currently from BMG. And thanks to the generosity of one of my wonderful DigiFam uh, group members, so to speak, I was able to purchase this yesterday and try it out. I did fly it successfully offline. I tried streaming it yesterday. I got rid of it because I just, sat on the ground for like 45 minutes and tried to figure out why there was this beeping going on. Turns out you want to leave the equipment cooling set to auto unless there's a reason you want to arm the cargo fire. But otherwise, we are well and dandy on the way down to Orlando. We're going to be flying the Get Out 1 arrival to 18 right to land and probably taxi to Airside 3. Now, speaking of which, let me double check and see what my situation is going to look like. I will reselect the ILS approach. I'm going to go straight to final. And on the ground, when we disembark at Orlando, if I can get this thing slowed down by about the halfway point, we can exit on Airside 3. Given we're going to be landing with flaps 30, which is going to be a pretty slow landing speed, we should be able to do it. Let's take a look at the performance numbers so we can confirm that. All right, we'll take 18 right. Conditions should be dry, I believe. Let's double check. KMCO weather. Standby, chat. Nothing? There we go. Let's see. Winds 160 at 9er, visibility 10 statute miles, clouds few at 3,000, few at 10,000, few at 250. Okay, so no, few clouds. So conditions should be dry. And let's calculate. Landing distance 12,001 feet. Am I going to be using the entire runway? It doesn't make sense to me at all. No, VREF is not going to be 155. VREF is going to be like 137. Yeah, we chose flaps 30 for 137, which means it's probably going to be possible, quite possible, that we will be able to get this thing on the ground by Yankee. So, I'm okay with that. So, that's good. All right. Now, chat, one of the other things I've been working on or trying to figure out is what I want to do with the Raspberry Pi technology that I have. So, I think I'm going to go online and go to the Raspberry Pi magazine and take a look at some recent articles they have and figure out what they're doing and whether or not it would be a cool idea to try doing something interesting. I didn't press enter. Oops. Okay, so I had a few ideas a little while ago to try to do something with like the Pico to create some, flight sim peripherals. I don't think I've given up on that right now. I'm just trying to make better use of the equipment. There's one that I use right now occasionally to catch ADSB traffic in the area, and I tried. It's okay. I tried to get I tried to get a way to feed that traffic into my flight sim, but I didn't figure out a way how to do it immediately. What I'm probably going to do, potentially figure out what to do, is to make like a cyber deck or like an extremely tiny computer. Now, there's one small problem. I have competent enough smartphones and I have like a portable tablet and stuff like that. So the concept is like, why am I trying to create that? In one sense, it doesn't matter. I get it, but at the same time, I uh, I like experimenting with things. What I'm probably gonna do, is something with the tiny Raspberry Pi Pico that I have, and I have a Raspberry Pi 3 gifted to me by a good friend of the channel that I have enclosed in a case. I might be replacing the old Raspberry Pi 2 that I have that actually does a few things for me on my network soon. So that's probably going to serve double duty as the upcoming replacement for it. I still haven't decided totally, but it's probably going to happen. It's most likely going to happen. And it might even be wiser to do that because it's an air-cooled case and it'll be easier to work with. Now, of course, the thing that's left over for me is figuring out what else I want to work on. I keep bouncing back and forth between things like, um, you know, flight sim and the real, like, like other IRL opportunities. So I want to figure out more about coding Python using tools inside the Raspberry Pi, as well as learning Python in other languages in general. So I'm going to be looking into this, probably talking a little bit more about it on stream, not on streams, excuse me, on my Discord, and then making a decision as to what I want to do. So sometimes I think what has to happen is I have to kind of make a decision to deliberately and totally like go out on my own and figure out how to create the necessary pieces or the necessary code to do things. This is kind of cool because I think I'd like to actually have a classic computer to play some of the old games that I grew up with. So I have to figure this out. Now, it would be really cool to create a 3D camera to make 3D images. But I think what would be even cooler would be to do something with a lenticular screen and Raspberry Pi, so I could make my own. Not, it's not going to compete with the Nintendo 3DS, believe me, but I want to create my own kind of 3D viewport. So let me do a quick search and see what I can find. Raspberry Pi, lenticular screen. I'm not expecting to find much, but we'll see. If I can find something, that'd be dope. Checking my flight plan right now, just stand by. So we got easily, I think, like another half an hour, easily, before I have to think about top of drop. So that's fine. But I am looking. Holographic photo frame. True 3D display. That's not what I want. I want to actually get a like lenticular screen, something which will actually render 3D display. 3D printed lenticular lens makes 3D display. This actually sounds cool. So apparently it's something called a lenticular lens, which makes this 3D effect. So, okay, so they're 3D printing a lenticular display. That's actually pretty cool. That's dope. Anything else? No, I can't tell. Hmm, that's pretty cool. But I think it's going to require some more research on my part. So, let me think of project ideas. Let me think. I know I can use the Raspberry Pi for some utility stuff at home. The other thing that I can think of is creating something which I could probably use to do fun things with Flight Sim, like maybe a kind of Flight Sim Stream Deck, but that's been done before. And I mean, Stream Deck actually has like a preset that you can use to do things. And somebody's even designed software that actually allows you to push buttons to actually, flip switches on an aircraft inside the sim. So that's not what I'm going for. I'm trying to figure out how to make good use of it. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes that happens to me, and I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what the best use of the equipment is and something that I want to do. But let me see. Mm, nah, what can I search for? I'm not sure. I do know one thing I'm looking for is, you know, growing my skills as a software developer, or just, making sure I stay good in some level. So that's a separate project that I may be thinking about off stream for now. It depends. But the cool thing about the Raspberry Pi, galaxy, so to speak, is that there's so much you can actually do. And since I have the tech to actually, create things, I can probably come up with some pretty nice ideas. I guess it depends. There were some things I was trying to do in the past when I was more into Android and smartphones, but I guess I am gonna look at either more projects with Raspberry Pi, or just more coding, and then figure out how everything naturally just extends out. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. All right, right now we have a ground speed of 507 knots. We've got a 30-knot tailwind, which is dope. I'll take that any day. And how far along are we? Let's see. We are almost to our arrival. So I would say another maybe 20, 25 minutes. Not bad. Let's see progress and see how close we are to Orlando. Okay, so 23:42. We literally have about 40 minutes to go, which is not bad. I'm tempted to accelerate time, but given that we're under an hour, I think we're okay right now. Nice looking bird. If I get a chance later this summer, I might, I just might stream a opportunistic Atlantic crossing, or like across the land haul, maybe from Dallas to San Diego, or from Orlando to like Denver, something. I might. I might. I have a few other ideas as well. I definitely feel like getting in touch with some of my old video gaming habits and playing old DOS games again. I looked at some old the computer games and stuff like that, and saw that they had indicators on the boxes that said your screens may vary, and that's nostalgia for me. That's when like it was possible to buy a game for the IBM PC compatibles, or for the Amiga, or for the Atari ST, or for the Commodore 64. There were multiple platforms. I mean, like there are multiple console platforms now. There used to be multiple computing platforms back then. So I I think about that, and I wonder if it's possible to do more with those platforms. I mean, it is definitely possible if you have the emulation in place. That looks like a jet blue, and I do think it's model matched. So that's nice. Nice. But we'll see. Hmm, not gonna lie, kind of tempted to speed up time to get down there pretty quick. So I'm starting to get hungry. Let me take a look. Let me get myself in trouble. Let's see how we can actually speed up time. Time seems to be going the same rate. I don't know if this actually scrolls up. No. So I guess you set up your speed here. Nope. Nope. Doesn't let me change rate. So that's fine. We'll keep it as it is then, chat. What do I want to make for dinner? I'm thinking. Dinner's going to be very soon, I think. I'm probably going to land, taxi to the gate, power down, and be done. But yeah, now we're inside of, I think, 20 minutes. Now it's like probably 15 minutes to go before we start descent. And we're still clipping. Now we're like 511 knots. Tailwind is straight on. So we are booking it. This is an ideal scenario. Only possible improvement would be to get more tailwind, and that's okay. Hmm, maybe a quick charcuterie board for the arrival? I don't know. It's pretty nice out here. Little muggy, looks like. Got Frontier Flight 2594 out in front of us. How far out? Far enough out not to be showing up on the radar. So, is what it is. In the meantime, let's go ahead and start planning for our arrival. If I take a look at the ILS approach, then I want to be at 2,200 feet by the time we actually begin the descent on the glide path. So let's go ahead and set that up now. Okay, 2,200 feet is set, and go around altitude is going to be 4,000 feet. So you know what? I could probably get down to 4,000 because no, actually, I need to be way lower than that. So I do need to set my altitude to 2,200 feet since I'm coming straight into the final approach course. But at the same time, we'll be getting ready to descend shortly. And is my progress still good? Yeah, just about. 2341 Zulu. So we've got about a half an hour to go. Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. We are about 35 minutes away from arriving at Orlando International Airport. We do hope you've enjoyed this flight today with nonstop service from Dulles in the Washington, D.C. area. We're going to be getting ready for our arrival shortly, and we will be descending momentarily. So we do ask that you return to your seats and make sure your seatbelts are fastened. The flight attendants will be taking care of the cabin and picking up any trash or objects you wish to discard at this time. In the meantime, sit back, relax, and get ready to say hi to Walt Disney World shortly if you are going there. Otherwise, if you are coming home, hopefully you have a very nice ride. In the meantime, thanks for flying American. We are flying to Orlando, my friend, and welcome. Thank you for stopping in today and appreciate having you here. I was hanging out with you on, let's see, Gaming with Moni, I believe, that channel. I forget what, is there a number at the end? Feel free to drop the deets in chat, Two-Faced. But yeah, I was hanging out with you over there and watching her play Kingdom Hearts, which is definitely a throwback for me. I've never played it, but I mean, the graphics took me back. Gaming with Moni, thank you. There we go. So I did say it correctly. I think. Iowa Scotsman, hello. Welcome aboard, my friend. We are almost down to Orlando. I'm doing a bit of a reference flight in the PMBG 777. We took off out of Dulles, I'd say about an hour ago, and we have been shaking this plane down for the past couple of days. The 777 is treating me nicely. This was what caused my problems on Saturday. Because I had them armed and equipment cooling wasn't auto, it kept beeping. So every time we tried to figure out what was going on, we couldn't figure it out until we finally did figure it out. Let's see. Current weather in Orlando is 3004. We will take that. We will take that. We'll set that up for the altimeter right now. And that's it. Altimeter set for our arrival at Orlando. We're going to be taking 18 right, so pretty much just straight in arrival today. And I'm happy. Okay, coming up on top of drop very shortly. We've got about 11.6 nautical miles to BG, and then between BG and Leopard is when we're going to begin our descent. We need to be at or below flight level 340, but above 300, which should be in line with the descent profile for this bird as it's calculated it. We don't have any discontinuities. We sussed those out in the flight planning phase when we were on the ground at Dulles, so we should be able to go straight in, land, and cap the stream. For those of you folks joining us now, earlier, I took a look online to find some potential developer PC replacements because the computer that I use is not upgradable to Windows 11 for some weird reason. I guess that's okay. I am going to take a little bit of time figuring out what the next purchase is going to be. It doesn't have to be a particularly potent or powerful computer in the sense that it doesn't have to give me like, 90 frames per second with ultra graphics on MSFS. But I do want something which is going to allow me to do scenery development and at least play modern era games that are potent enough at reasonable frame rates. So in one sense, if I can get the equivalent of an Xbox One X on my desktop, then I'll probably be okay with it. I thought I was in a hurry, but no, no. I'm taking it one step at a time because I kind of have to. It's important. Otherwise, we are just about ready to start our descent very shortly. Let's see. Yeah, 10 nautical miles. I did, and I found the lossless scaling application on Steam. I don't know if you can run the application and run Microsoft Flight Simulator from the Windows Store. I'm assuming you can. And the lossless scaling application is like $6. I don't know what the performance difference is in terms of power versus the frame gen mod that I'm currently running right now. I'd be extremely curious to find out. So I might spend like the $6 required to buy it and then test it and see how it works. Because if it gives me even better performance with the 3060 Ti that I currently have, I'll take it. But yeah, I got some things on my mind with regards to upcoming projects, maybe things that I'm going to be doing for the summer of freeware. And right now, I think the thing that I'm going to do is probably pick one of the airports I made at the beginning and dress it up with custom buildings, and then re-release it probably on FlightSim.to. Just like that, we are descending now. FrameGen mod is 2x FPS, but with bad artifacting. Lossless scaling has 3x FPS, and the artifacting is negligible. What? Whoa. That's interesting. Huh. Okay. That, I mean, like, for about $6, I think you might have just convinced me. I think. So, it sounds a little absurd not to try it. If I can game at 2K at like 60 frames per second, I'll take it. That was my rationale for being at 1080p before. Like, I'm at 2K right now. This is downscaled to 1080p, but yeah, that might be a good idea. Might be. Not worried about it. It feels too good to be true. That sounds dope. I think I think these are the next few things I'd like to do. I think I'd like to wrap up my work. Okay, unless you're running 4K, the 2x option is the better choice. Okay, I'm running 2K right now. It's like 3840 by 2160. So 2160p. 1080p will be 1920 by 1080. So like if I ran ultra with all the doodads turned on with lossless scaling at 1080p, that might be it. I could probably also try 1440p as well. Yeah, yeah. So it, I mean, it's kind of a one or the other situation. I guess I'm gonna have to give it a shot and see how it behaves. Right now, frame gen is fairly well behaved. I'm okay with it. But I am curious. Let's see. Do I want auto brake 3 or 4? I'm going to try auto brake 4 to see if I can exit by Yankee. And we will arm the speed brakes now. So, speed brakes are armed. Well, there we go. Dual boost the graphics. I feel like at that point, though, I would probably want to pick one or the other. So I might give lossless scaling a try, especially if there's something that I run that typically pushes my my PC. Maybe X-Plane 12, but we'll see. Let's see. That's an Air Canada plane. See ya. Okay, so settings play a part. All right. I'm going to set my final heading to 185. Okay, and that's the heading for the final approach course. We are not that far now. We've just passed Jacksonville International, and we are on our way down. Sitting at about 2,000 feet per minute. Auto brake is set to 4, speed brakes are armed, and that should be about it. With the auto brake 4 and an approach speed of 137, I don't know if we're going to need much in the way of reversers at all. It could be a noise abatement arrival. I don't know. But we'll see. Winds have shifted, so it is just like a slight quartering tailwind, but we're still going pretty fast on the way down. 444 knots ground speed. Flying with Arnold, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator, MSFS or FS 2020. I am in the PMDG 777. This is the 777-300, and we have now reached the descent and approach phase, well, descent phase from Dulles to Orlando, which reminds me, I'll check my checklist real fast. So, descent, we'll check recall. Recall, checked. Notes, disregard. Auto brake is set. Landing data, VREF 137. Minimums are set. And approach briefing, we're going to be taking the rest of the get out 1 approach directly to the final approach fix, and then landing 18 right. So, there we go. Descent checklist is complete. All right, so we are leaving flight level 270, which means now we're dealing with speed in terms of indicated airspeed, no longer the Mach numbers. So yeah, I might actually try lossless scaling and see how it performs with MSFS, and see whether or not I can actually use that instead of the FrameGen mod, which I have installed, and we'll see. I am back to DX11 after using DX12 for a while, and I'm actually not using FrameGen mode right now, and I don't miss it because my frame rates are pretty good. Okay, progress. Yeah, still on track. 23:39, and it's 23:22, so literally a little over 15 minutes and we're on the ground. This bird likes to move. Wow. Impressive. leaving flight level 250 and continuing. Next waypoint's going to be in about 16 nautical miles. Flight simming at 2K has turned into quite the experience. With P3D, I stream at 1080p in that same resolution because it gives me better frames. But I kind of haven't used 1080p much lately. Maybe I should to get like every bit of frame rate that I can out of it. But if I buy lossless scaling and I try it, then we'll see what the outcome is. Today's flight was Dulles to Orlando, so Kilo India Alpha Delta to Kilo Mike Charlie Oscar. We departed on a Scram 6 departure, and we are taking the Get Out 1 arrival to 18 right at Orlando today. If we go miss, we go to 4,000 at, I think, Camber before we go back. Still doing pretty good. We are nice and quiet on the way down. Low detail clouds, but honestly, they do not look horrible. I don't miss ultra clouds. I barely miss medium clouds. They're nice. I'm the exact opposite. I need to do more flying outside the US. I think I need to do some Canada flights again. Maybe fly east from Vancouver back to, like, say, the Maritimes, like all the way down to Nova Scotia, even St. John's. And try to do some South American flights, do some, let's see what else, fly in Africa, fly in Europe, definitely fly in Europe, and Southeast Asia and India, but we'll see. One step at a time. One step at a time, definitely. Will I be streaming those through the week? Probably not. I'll be doing some other stuff as well. I don't do much flying in Europe, and I should. So many different, possibilities. London, Amsterdam, Luxembourg, like, Munich, Hamburg, Berlin, Copenhagen, Oslo, Helsinki, Riga. Like, there's so many places to go. And I haven't even touched on, like, say, Prague and Venice and Rome and Naples and Split and Dubrovnik, which I flew into, I want to say, like, about a month ago. Greece, Turkey, Israel. Yeah, I need to spread my wings more. And now that I have this plane, that will most likely be possible. Not that I couldn't do it in the 787. That plane was already there because I had the premium deluxe edition version. But I don't know. Like, you get in your rut and you're like, hey, like, okay, next American flight. It's like, well, hold on. Try going somewhere else. I can do a long haul to, I think, Dubai now. I think it's either Dubai or Abu Dhabi that I just got. So, I'll check. Right now, we are about to cross into local pressure, so we'll hit the standard button, and there we go. Local pressure is set, and before I forget, just because I tend to do that, I'll get my landing lights on. And where are we looking at up top? Yeah. We should be good. Out of Dubai. There we go. Okay, so approach checklist. Altimeter is set to local pressure. So approach checklist is complete. Believe it or not, I still have prepared installed, version 5.3. I still like having it installed. I think the day when it becomes apparent that I don't really need it anymore, period, I'll probably get rid of it. But I don't know. It's nice to have the old stuff installed just to go back to it every once in a while. I got my money's worth out of it. I did. I definitely got my money's worth out of FS 2020. So we're good. I did finally uninstall X-Plane 11 and got rid of all the ortho that I had for it. That freed up a bunch of space on my plate drive and some space on my hard drive, which promptly got consumed by, more MSFS stuff. I think I'm still going to have P3D installed on my hard drive probably through the end of this year. Then I'll take a look at it again come next year and decide whether or not I want to keep it. I mean, I have the license for it, so I can, but we'll see. I want to make better choices, Chad. I do. So I'm going to try to take more time to think about things while simultaneously making decisions faster. I can tell you with relative certainty, getting rid of X-Plane 11 and doubling down on 12 made me appreciate 12 more. I think I got to the point where I had just about flown my last X-Plane 11 flight because I started thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm kind of blocking myself from enjoying 12 because I still have 11 installed. So there it went. And the irony was that was literally right after I wrote a post on my Discord saying, hey, like, I think I might hold on to X-Plane 11 for a little while. And then I turned right around and get rid of it. So that's kind of how it works. Funny, but that's kind of how it works. Okay, we are approaching 10,000 and we're right around the 250 knot range plus 7 knots. So slowing down is not going to be an issue. I like this approach. It's so nice. Yeah, we're tracking. We're going to be down in about 10 minutes. And if this was me, I would be in the passenger in economy or hopefully someday business class, and then eventually we touch down, get our bags, go to baggage claim, hop on a bus or take the train at some point in the future to Disney, settle in, put my clothes away, hop on a bus, go to Disney Springs, and eat dinner. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to going back. I went last year, but it feels like it's been longer than that. No lie. I caught up with some family recently on a phone call, and we spent a while talking like we usually do. And I got to talking about my the person that we knew that passed away. You know, It's a friend to Mrs. Digi and I, and it just feels weird, you know, not having them around. But the gift and the legacy they left me was just to understand there's a lot that I can do to make the most of my time and spend it the right way and not second guess myself so much. Not at all, really, because that's what I should be doing. Making decisions with more confidence and moving forward. And I'm grateful to be in a spot where I can do things like streaming and doing my IRL work as a developer, and potentially, doing something cool with what I've learned over the past couple of years. But that's a story in progress. Once I get done with the stream for tonight, I'm probably gonna cook something up really fast, or just make some leftovers, and then chill and maybe watch a stream or two, and just... Oh, dude, I really like Florida. I'm a big fan. I spent I spent some time going down here. I spent many years coming down here regularly, and I enjoy it. The best time of year for me to come down is literally in like the end of the year or the beginning of the year, when the temperatures are the coldest, and it's like people come down here to get away from the cold wherever they are. Although don't get me wrong, I like fall and winter, but flying down to Vegas is Vegas to Orlando. I almost went to Vegas this year. Um, Sag, but flying down to Orlando is wonderful. Okay, looks like we are going into approach mode, so now I am going to grab the flight controls and get ready for our arrival. The flight attendants told me the cabin is ready, so now we are good to go. It's going to be more or less line up with the runway, descend, and then boom, done. Not that long now, chat. Not that long. And it looks like we've got a 757 coming in behind me to MCO or to Daytona. Oh my gosh. Be nice, Two-Face. Be nice. They just, need to understand. Okay, drag required? Nah, not necessarily. But since we're coming up on like 6,000 feet, I'm probably going to... Whoa! Pixel Penguin coming through with a tier 1 sub. Thanks for your second month, my friend. Welcome back to the Digi crew. Enjoy those emotes. We're flying a triple. And we are on final approach, almost on final approach to Orlando. I'm nice. We're just going to educate them a little. Okay, looks like we're coming in directly behind Southwest. And I think they're going to land on the 17s, so I think we should be okay, hopefully. So, I'm going to make up my mind. We're going to do flaps 1, and we're going to start... Let's see, can we scrub speed before we get to flaps 15? We'll see. Looks like we are. I set my graphics settings mostly to what the NVIDIA GeForce Experience app recommended, so I am grateful for the smoothness coming down. Stutters are usually like a big issue when I started getting deep into graphics details. So let's do flaps 5. And you know what? Let's start taking... Oh, I have to stay at 210? All right, well, whatever. Speed checks. Let me get the gear down now, because we need to get way down. Can we do it? Let's see. We are dropping in, though. That's good. Looks like the Southwest pilot's having fun. And we'll take flaps 15 at this point. Gear is down. Straight through to 30. We are fairly high above the glide slope, but we're taking it down. Okay, looks like they are landing on the 1/8s. At least I think they are. Alright, I do not use Sim Toolkit Pro, so feel free to predict whatever you like, and we'll have a intellectual discussion about what the landing rate could have been. Good news is we've caught up to the glide slope. Bad news is we're still going pretty fast.
2,500.
2,500 feet, and we, I think, are starting to slow down. Predict minus 468. It's going to be crunchy. Now it doesn't want to descend, so we'll just do it for it. Alright, there goes. We're dropping in, and we are coming in hot. So, auto brake 4, and speed brake is armed. We're configured for like 137 on approach. Winds are calm? No, okay, there we go. They're coming out of the southeast. Like I said, actually we're on glide. Good. Grab a little bit into the runway, just a touch. Get back on glide, please. Not bad, not bad. Looking good. Wind shifted a touch. Easy, easy.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Minimums.
Landing. down. Reverse green, speed brakes, up. Yes, we were low. Okay. Auto brake disarm. All right, off by Yankee. Welcome down to Orlando. Smooth like an egg. With permission. Welcome down to Orlando. Local time is 7 p.m. We be here and stuff. All right, let's clean up a little bit. All right, flaps are up. No one's coming or gone? All right, cool, we'll cross. All right. Nose lights, taxi, we'll get the landing lights off. Turn the strobe off after we cross over. Look at the APU kicking again. Welcome, everybody. Very happy to be here. This thing is entirely too big for gate 53 at airside 3, but we are going. MCO, there you go. 777, honk honk, MCO. Beautiful day. Sun is beginning to set, and we arrived here just in time. Strobe lights can come off. Nose lights can come off. And we should have the APU running soon. That's butter. Well played, sir. Well played. Very nice. Happy to have you on board, friends. Welcome down to the bespoke scenery that's included with the premium deluxe version of FS 2020. We have just arrived. Now, let me take a moment to catch myself up here. Hold on. Let's see, how's this work? There we go, that's it. I want probably one of the terminals over this way. This one's too small, that one's too small. I don't know. Got a dad joke in. Nice. I think this one's gonna work. Airside 45. Alright, taxi lights can come off. And now, the gentle turn as we reach the gate and bring our flight to a close. Alright, gently. There we go. So that's where I know the center line goes for the aircraft. And I'm going to say right about here is where I'm going to set my brakes. Okay. KMCL is actually kind of compact, to be honest. And technically, I think I'm in a smaller spot than I should be, but again, I'm just picking a spot to park at. The APU is running, and I think I should be able to connect to the jetway at this point. It's close enough. So, let's see. Flaps are up, speed brakes retracted, parking brake is set. Let's go ahead and cut the engines as the APU is running, and boom, boom, we are done. Welcome down, everybody. Let's go ahead and get the wing lights off. We'll get the ground power requested and get everything set. Welcome down. Parking brakes are set. Shocks are set, so now we can actually let go of the parking brake. And we can request the jetway, request ground power, and get all the vehicles up in here. With the exception of the stairs. And actually, galley, not right now. Aft bulk cargo. No, not now. I'd say get the maintenance van and lavatory service and cabin cleaning, and we will park it up at this point. Let's see. All right, power's available. Turn the APU off and get all of these things turned off. We should be good. And that should be everything. Let's turn off window heats. Get hydraulics turned off. All the outside lights are off. And beacon light can come off, nav light can come off, logo light can come off. The plane is a solid 9.5. In terms of my enjoyment of it and just how quickly it gets me from point A to point B and how many buttons I can click, it's a 9.5. Are there issues? Maybe. Other than some occasional issues with glide slope not catching on because of usually my setup or my fault, I'm happy with it. Between a 9 to a 9.5 for an absolute fact. I'm sure they're sussing out leftover issues, but yeah, we should be okay. I like pushing buttons. So do I. So do I. All right. Yeah, we're connected. Look at this place. It's so nice. So nice, my word. And live-ish traffic. Model matching ain't the best, but I'll tell you what, I'll take what I'm given. This is the bespoke scenery for Orlando International Airport. This is Airside 3. The main terminals are there. I think Bravo terminal's on one side and the other terminal's on the other. And then you basically board a bus or get a rental car or go to the garage and drive out either to the north or the south. And Disney is like that way. Yeah, it's actually not that. I mean, you know, if you want to talk about it not being that big, then yeah, it's fairly compact. Yeah, there's more real estate dedicated to the runways and additional scenery out there. Probably models the new international terminal, which is here. I'm sorry, that's the train station, but here is like where the new international terminal is for departing flights. At least I think it is. Yeah, so this place is neat. I like it. I like coming here IRL. And I'm definitely a fan of seeing Embraers. Now, what other planes are here? Okay, you know, slight model matching concerns, given a A319 Aegean is here. Does have crazy extended range. No, 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 no. They've got 4 air sides with terminals. 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. There's like four runways. Yeah, yeah. This place is not that small. Ooh, coming in from Pittsburgh. That's pretty cool. But yeah, man, look at that. Just beat the sun down. Ugh, I'm happy. I'm happy. Sincerely. I'm just grateful to, I'm definitely grateful to the generosity of the Digi fam for this plane. And what can I tell you? Like, it's a nice experience. It's definitely a nice way to be in terms of flying medium to long hauls. And honestly, I'm happy with it. I will be flying this more, and I'm probably going to be flying this for the Across the Pond event, even if I just do a multiplayer in, what, October, November? Something like that. But yeah, I'm very happy. Very, very. Favorite frame rates right now, but a lot of stuff spawning in, so. Transatlantic will probably be flights to Europe. I flew Heathrow to no, I flew Dublin to Boston in April. So I think I might do Boston to either Amsterdam or Boston to Heathrow when we do Cross the Pond East. Or maybe even further. Maybe JFK to Frankfurt, or I don't know, what, Dulles to Dulles to Dublin. D&D. Boston, Dubai. This plane definitely has the range for it, so that would definitely be a haul and a half. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. So, I'm happy. That might actually happen. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, chat. Definitely happy to have flown today. That point right between, like, say, Savannah and Jacksonville, I started getting a strong case of get there-itis. Like, okay, like, we can be there now. Now I'm just spitballing the longest routes. Wow, San Francisco to Sydney. That would be a haul. Definitely a haul. Wow. Well, is that out of the question? I don't know. Maybe not. To be honest with you, maybe not. Let me take the off the traffic. I think I'm gonna take a picture. Traffic names off. Probably give me some frames back. Yeah, I don't know. I might actually. That's not out of the question. No. Save that picture. I'm happy. All right. 18 hours. Wow. Okay. Do I care about traffic labels? I do when I'm flying because it's a nice visual reminder. So I'm okay with that. Folks, we're here. I'm happy. I snuck a flight in and we got to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. Some upcoming stuff hopefully happening soon, and I don't know. Hopefully new projects for me on the horizon. We'll see. Let's see. How many folks are still hanging out with me today? Let's ask that question. Oh, a non-zero number of you. Dope. Let's take a look at the channel and see if we can say hi to anybody. All right, who do we have? 757 is flying. Oh, thank you, my friend. There will definitely be more flights in the triple. Definitely. And possibly a transatlantic stream coming up this summer. I mean, a nice long one could give me a Devon design, flying design. Dev stream probably this week. Probably. No mic. If it is during the week. And who can I say hello to? Who should we say hello to? Okay. Who can I say hello to real fast? You know what? Flight Hound is actually doing a flight right now. Let's go rate him. Friends, thanks so much for stopping in today. Like I always like to say at the end of my streams, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that is Jesus Christ. Have a great rest of your evening. Enjoy yourselves, and I hope you have a great week ahead. All the best to you, and take care.